All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the show. This is your host of the evening, DJ Just Jay with Just Dimes ENT. As you guys know, we advocate for children first. This story takes a little bit of a turn from our normal, so I want to forewarn the people, especially to the parents and the people that are close to this story. I want to warn you guys, I'm going to say some things that may or may not sit well with your sensibilities, so I don't want you guys to flag the channel. I just want you guys to listen to what we have to say about this story, because it's gonna take a turn in a way that I don't know. I don't really know, but let's go ahead and talk about this story, okay? Here we go. There was a 5th grade student, as you guys can tell from the title. Her name is RaNiya Wright. She was age 10 years old. That girl right there. She was a 5th grade student, and she was going to school at Forest Hills Elementary in Walterboro, South Carolina. Some of you guys might be familiar with that. It's about 50 miles west of Charleston, South Carolina. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that area or not, but she was airlifted to a hospital in Charleston where she remained unresponsive. From my understanding, I think she passed away. From my understanding. Okay? Now, she died because she suffered serious injuries during a fight at school. That's what officials said. She was fighting at school. Now, we don't know the full details, so I don't want to speculate too much, but you guys know that I'm not a person about physical violence or anything like that, especially when it comes to kids. I don't believe the kids should be fighting in school. It makes me wonder where the adults were, where the teachers were. But let's talk about this really, really quickly, okay? I'm glad I got that screenshot. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. 2 days later, on Wednesday, RaNiya died from her injuries. The exact injuries she suffered have not been released. Another child that was involved in the fight has been suspended from school indefinitely. The Collin County School District said officials said no other students were involved. So I'm assuming this is probably 2 girls. Excuse me. So I don't know if this had anything to do with bullying. I've heard that come up in the story, but the fight was between 2 5th grade girls, the sheriff's office said. So that was coming directly from the police when people asked, where do I get my facts from? Okay. No arrests have been made. What's strange to me about this, because I know you're talking about a kid, but a kid was involved in this girl dying, so why wouldn't there be some type of charge? Right? You guys agree? If you disagree with that, then let me know. There were no charges made so far. Paramedics have found RaNiya unconscious on Monday in the school's nurses station, citing a sheriff's office incident report. District officials and school administrators ended the fight and called emergency responders. The student was airlifted to the Medical University of South Carolina in Charleston after the fight, the district said earlier in a statement. Now, an autopsy is scheduled for this Friday. This is a very, very current story. That's what the sheriff's office said. School officials have not released more details about the altercation, obviously because of the nature of it. A student has been suspended until an investigation into the incident is completed, and it's unclear whether the student was involved in the fight. More than likely it was. Now, authorities said that the school is cooperating with law enforcement, and a crisis response team is offering counseling and support to students and staff. Now, of course, this is a very, very normal thing to our culture. There was a GoFundMe account that was created and set up to help the family with medical and funeral costs. But we're going to talk about that because it has an interesting thing to it. But let me read this statement from Colleton County School District, and they released this following statement. The Colleton County School District has learned from law enforcement officials that the student transported to Medical University of South Carolina passed away on March 27th, yesterday at 9:39 a.m. We are devastated by this news, and we want our communities to keep their thoughts and prayers with this student's family at this time, CCSD officials continue to focus on providing needed support to our students, teachers, staff, and community, while also providing updates on the Colleton County Sheriff's Office investigation into this matter through our website, colletonsd.org. We will temporarily suspend our Facebook page so we can better focus on providing that care our stakeholders need at this time. That's a statement from them. Here's some little bit more about this. They say that RaNiya was a wonderful student. She loved to write and spend time with her friends, play basketball, and love being a big sister. So I want everybody to understand, I'm not going to make a judgment call on this baby's character. To me, she's a baby. She's almost about the same age as my daughter, okay? So this hit home for me. So for all the parents out there that are watching my show right now, understand that this means just as much to me as it does to you guys, because I'm very, very concerned about preventing situations like this. Understand that, okay? Now, she was actively involved in her church as a junior usher, and that's what's said in the statement. She'll be greatly missed by her family and friends and the entire school community. Our school district is saddened by this event, and it's very difficult to experience the death of a young person. Walterboro, just to let you know a little bit about the town, is about 5,100 residents and about an hour's drive west of Charleston. Forest Hills Elementary School, the South Carolina school where a 5th grade student was fatally injured in a fight this week, the school itself was given an unsatisfactory rating with a 29 out of a possible 100 in its most recent report card from the State Department of Education. I need everybody to put their listening ears on this evening. That is definitely an indictment on the school. I'm going to read that again. At this school, Forest Hills Elementary, this school was given an unsatisfactory rating. That's already bad. But then they give the actual number because this school was rated a 29 out of a possible 100 in its report card from the State Department of Education. And this is the type of school that we're sending our kids to? 29 out of a possible 100? That sounds like a crappy school. Thank you, Egoos, is me. You took the words right out of my mouth. Forest Hills Elementary School is one of 5 elementary schools within that school district. 1 out of 5. So there were other options there. There were 665 students at Forest Hill Elementary School during the 2017-2018 school year, according to the school's report card. There were about 143 students in the 5th grade class. Now, the school had a student-to-teacher ratio of about 21-1, which that's higher than the 15-1 student-to-teacher ratio average for elementary schools in South Carolina. So there are about 6 students more per classroom, which definitely has an impact, okay? Now, an unsatisfactory rating means that the school's performance fails to meet the criteria to ensure all students meet the profile of a high school graduate in South Carolina, according to the report card. Okay? Now, 85% of the student body was identified as being in poverty, up from 84% in the 2016-2017 school year. Does everybody got their listening ears on? Does everybody got their Bluetooth on? Did you turn the volume up on the phone or the tablet or the computer, whatever you're listening to me on? Did everybody catch what I just said? Miss Lady T-Sinades, 29 out of 100. Yes, horrible. Catch this. 85% of the student body was identified as being in poverty, which is up by 1% from 84% from the previous year. Why are we talking about poverty and the school system And how bad it sucks when we're talking about this precious baby right here. And you can see her with her mom there in the hospital. And her mom's name, if I'm not mistaken, is Ashley Wright. So that's the mom's name. Okay? Now, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. Forest Hill scored a below average in the areas of academic achievement, preparing for success and student progress in the report card. The English learners' progress scored average, while school quality scored unsatisfactory. There were four incidents of threats of physical attack without weapons recorded at that school last year. That's according to data reported to the incident management system. The school had 9 inexperienced teachers teaching in core classes. The classes that count. They had 9 inexperienced teachers. I don't think that makes the teachers bad, but I do know that that affects the learning. I want everybody to catch the difference. Here's what we know about the legal process, because we're gonna talk about this. So we're gonna put a pin in that part of the story, bookmark it, we'll come back. The legal process in this case and other cases involving children. Here it is. The case around RaNiya Wright's death remains under investigation. The identity and ages of other students involved in the fight have not been disclosed by officials, and I'm not going to even try to dig into it because I don't want any legal issues or any problems exposing the other kid that was involved in this case, okay? Because this is extremely sensitive. Now, the Colleton County Sheriff's Office is the lead investigative agency in this case, and Solicitor Stone, the Judicial Circuit's prosecutor, said that South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice will also review this case. Now, Stone said there is no clear timeline for how long the investigation may last, and if a child is charged in this case, the child will be prosecuted in family court. If the other girl is charged, she'll be charged and prosecuted in family court. Now, family court offers a child additional privacy and protections not available to people who are charged as adults in general sessions court. Now, proceedings in family court are sometimes closed to the public. That way they can keep those records sealed for obvious reasons because they're kids, okay? Regardless if they did something wrong, they're still kids. Now, in certain cases, a child can be tried as an adult in general sessions court. Now, before a such thing can happen, the child would have to have a waiver hearing in family court, and a judge would have to decide whether the child's case should go to adult court. I don't know if that's going to happen here because they might consider this to be mutual combat, but we don't know. Now, in making a waiver decision, a judge would consider numerous factors, including the level of violence of the alleged offense, which there were no weapons in this case, so that might have some bearing, and the accused child's maturity and whether he or she has any other criminal history. So there are some other factors that are going to come into play. Now, if a child is 10 years, if a child 10 years old or younger is criminally charged, that child cannot be detained in jail or an institution such as a juvenile detention facility, Stone said. But if a child is the age of 11 or 12 and charged, the child could be detained in that way, but it will require a judge's approval, Stone said. Now, children who are 13 or older would likely be detained at a juvenile detention center, and the nearest one to Walterboro is in Columbia, Stone said. That is a ton of information. A ton of information. This is a tragedy because a baby girl lost her life probably over something needless and stupid. Kids, things happen. I get it. Arguments happen. Teasing happens. This is very normal in our culture, especially in the black community. I'm going to tell you this. I can't pinpoint based on the pictures, that they don't really tell you a story. People are obviously saying that this little girl was a good girl. I get all that, but they lived in a hood environment, so there are going to be some hood elements that exist, okay? Did she get jumped? From what we understand, no. This was a one-on-one fight from what we understand. Hashtag where's Black Lives Matter? You jumped the gun on that one. I was going to bring that up. But I'm going to bring this up because this is a very important thing. There was a GoFundMe that was created. I'm going to show you guys a picture, and I want you to tell me what you notice. Because I had an issue with this. I don't know well, I kind of know who's responsible for the GoFundMe, but I'll show that information instead of just telling you. That's one picture, but let me get this one paused on the screen real quick. If I can't find it, I'll just go to it directly. See what we got here. Y'all give me just a moment, okay? That was the GoFundMe. And where is, right here. A GoFundMe page for Wright's family has surpassed its $12,000 goal. So, the original GoFundMe, they were asking for $12,000. Okay? Everybody catch that? I need somebody to make a drum roll for me. Are you ready? What news is Just Jay about to put out that I thought was particularly peculiar? Thank you, little pink slip. That's exactly what I was getting ready to talk about. Let me show you guys the current status of the GoFundMe. I want you guys to take notice. Originally, the GoFundMe was asking for $12,000. This is all within a few days. Actually, 2. Let's blow this up. Maybe you guys can't see it. Where is the current goal? Does anybody see an issue? This was the original goal, $12,000. The new goal was pushed up to $20,000, which I have a screenshot of that. And here is the current goal. Why is Just Jay bringing this up? I see people have their emojis. What is Just Jay saying here? Just Jay is saying a lot. I'm going to take you guys back to the statement. The statement said that this community is impoverished. You guys remember that? They said that this community is impoverished in this area. So why would I have an issue with a GoFundMe being raised from $12,000 to $20,000 to $45,000? I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. So to the mother, Ashley Wright, you might not like what I have to say, but what I'm saying is a real thing. What I don't understand is why would we initially ask for $12,000? We get that. Rightfully so. But you have doubled and tripled and quadrupled the amount of money that you were asking for. And my question is why? First and foremost, we've watched these GoFundMes turn into things where they can help people bury their kids. Okay? Funeral costs roughly range per person between $5,000 to $10,000, which is why we thought that $12,000 was reasonable. So that way maybe you could take care of some extra things, especially in the midst of this tragedy. And I want to remind you guys, this is a tragedy. But then this happened. Let's go ahead and bring this up real quick. Let's see if I can get this on the screen for you guys. Let me show you this one because it's a little bit dim because I don't know if you guys can see this or not. If I have to, let me know and I will make this even bigger on the screen for you. Let me see if I can get this up because it was right there. Let's go back. Right here. Can you guys see that? Yes or no? I need you guys to type quickly for me. If you cannot see that, then I'm going to have to blow this up on your screen. So I need a yes or no that you can see this. If you cannot see this, then I will blow it up on your screen for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Not that one. Not that one. Let me remove that one. It was kind of dimmed. Let me see. Which one is it? This one. I'm going to attempt to lighten this up a little bit. Okay, you can't see it? Good. I'll fix it. We're going to brighten this up just a little bit. How about that? How about that? I'm showing you guys this because I don't want y'all to think that I'm attacking the mom, and I don't want y'all to think that I'm making up something that's not true. The original GoFundMe was at, and this is why I'm thankful for screenshots. The original GoFundMe, as you guys can see from the news report, was asking for $12,000. It says a GoFundMe page that was set up to help pay for medical costs incurred following Wright's injuries has raised nearly $10,000 prior to the little girl's tragic death. So at this point, the baby was already dead. Did you guys catch that? This baby was already dead by this point. The goal was surpassed less than an hour after Wright's passing was announced. That's not a second GoFundMe. It's the first one. It was changed. You can up the goals. You guys have watched this. Tommy's talked about this before on his show where people have had GoFundMes up and they changed it because they were getting more money and more money and more money. This is the original GoFundMe. Originally asking for $12,000. Then it got raised to $20,000. As you can see from this screenshot. Then it went from that to this. $45,000. My question is, what prompted the increase in money? What changed? Did more people die? Did more medical costs get incurred? What happened? What happened in addition that we already didn't know, or we did know, that would ask you to double and triple and quadruple the amount of money? That all of a sudden is her funeral going to cost even more money? Last but not least, why do we not have insurance? Life insurance. GoFundMe does not equivocate to life insurance. Does everybody hear me clearly on that? People are asking who created the GoFundMe. I'm pretty sure we can find that out. There we go. Let's get this on the screen for you guys. This person right here, it says the organizer, if I'm not mistaken, because it was created March 26th, and it says that's the organizer. Right there. I'm just saying, it's a bit strange, the fact that that GoFundMe doubled and tripled and quadrupled. Let me go ahead and get you guys the fair usage, because we're going to talk a little bit more about some other elements in this story, okay? While you guys are watching, I want to say thank you to the people that have already hit the thumbs up. If you guys want to contribute to the show, at least hit the thumbs up if nothing else, okay? Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And I'm going to tell you guys this. One thing that I was going to address that somebody said in the chat a little bit earlier is they asked, was this girl stomped in the head? Well, let me pose the question to you. How many times have you guys watched videos on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, and World Star Hip Hop where grown women are getting into fights in the streets and they're slamming each other's heads into the ground and stomping each other's heads and kicking each other in the face? How many times have you guys seen that? I probably got about 100 videos that I've seen just this year alone. A lot of them. A lot of them are being shared and circulated all over the place. So was this baby stomped in the head? There's a good chance that she probably was. Let's go ahead and get this thing going.
Now to the demand for answers after a fifth grader died following a fight in her South Carolina classroom. Parents are, as you can imagine, outraged, asking how this could happen. Steve Osunsami is outside that school in South Carolina. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the growing memorial for the child who was killed here, and parents are upset, wondering how in the world this could have happened. Getting details is tough because both of the children involved are minors, but families want to know, where were the teachers in all of this?
About an hour outside Charleston, a family of a fifth grader is preparing for their daughter's funeral after she was seriously hurt in a classroom fight with another girl Monday. And police say the deadly fight didn't involve a weapon. The girl's death has left parents in this community absolutely shocked.
My mind can't wrap around it.
This is a child. She's in an elementary school. This should not be an issue.
And another thing that I want to talk about is accountability. The only thing that you can say whose fault it may or may not have been is the two people that were involved in the fight. The question has to be asked, why were they fighting? And then you have to say who deserves the blame, and that's the other person who ended up winning the fight that caused this little girl's death. Plain and simple.
And it shouldn't be an issue in any school.
According to the sheriff's incident report, when first responders got to the school, the wounded fifth grader, 10-year-old RaNiya Wright, was in the nurse's station and was unconscious but breathing. They then rushed the girl to the hospital where she was barely holding on and remained unresponsive. On Wednesday morning, she died. Her mother shared her grief on Facebook. As of 9:39, my baby girl has gained her wings. The Colleton County School District released a statement saying that RaNiya was a wonderful student. She loved to write and loved being a big sister. Our entire school district is saddened by this event.
It has hit our community like a...
Well, Miss June Bennett is asking, is the other child being charged? They are not releasing the details as of right now, and that's going to be determined in family court, just to let you know. You guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. It'll share the show and bring a few more people in, okay? Just hit that thumbs up. See if it's blue, and just hit the thumbs up for me, okay?
Cat 5 hurricane.
Parents, teachers, and administrators are now wondering how violence great enough to kill could take place in a classroom.
And if it took place in a classroom, then one would also have to ask, where was the teacher? But you also have to remember, that's why I talked about the rating of unsatisfactory for this school. Is because they're telling you that this school sucks, and it sucks for a reason. It probably sucks due to the administration. It probably sucks because of the teachers. And it probably also sucks because of the other students. That breeds for a horrible learning environment.
A deadly fight in a fifth grade classroom in South Carolina. A 10-year-old girl dying in the hospital. Another child involved in the fight has been suspended. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Tonight, a heartbroken family is struggling to understand how this 10-year-old little girl died as a result of injuries sustained during a classroom fight. It happened at Forest Hills Elementary School in South Carolina on Monday. According to police, RaNiya Wright was involved in an altercation with another fifth grade girl. RaNiya's injuries so severe she was left unresponsive and in critical condition, then pronounced dead today. Her family has set up this GoFundMe page.
As you guys can see right there, that's another screenshot, yet another screenshot of that same GoFundMe. I'm not making this up, and I don't have incorrect information. As you guys can see, that's 20,000. You go to the current GoFundMe, it's at 45,000. Who knows? Maybe by tomorrow, it'll be at 100,000. They're going to change the goal. Just keep moving the goalposts. I keep telling you guys, no disrespect to the mother, but I keep telling you this. You don't fix a problem by continuing to throw money at a problem. That's not how you fix a problem.
The Colleton County School District released this statement calling it a tremendous loss, describing RaNiya as a wonderful student who loved being a big sister.
Officials say there were no weapons involved in the altercation. An autopsy is now scheduled for Friday. As for the other child involved in the fight, she's now suspended pending investigation. Cecilia.
Lindsay Davis, thank you.
It's a shocking story. A fifth grader in South Carolina dies after a classroom fight at her elementary school. CNN's Victor Blackwell is following this story and walk us through what we know here and what we don't.
So there are a lot of questions here, but we do have some answers. Let me take you back to Monday afternoon at Forest Hills Elementary School. And
Hashtag, where's the father in this story? You have not heard of a single father. They have not interviewed the father of either side. And we continue to keep seeing the fact that there is an absence, clearly, of fathers. And I actually looked at Ashley Wright's Facebook page because it was easy to find in the news. She is manless. I have not seen her with a husband, a father, taking all kind of pictures with the kids and all of that kind of good stuff. I did not see a father one time in any picture. I'm just throwing that out there because we're just talking about the dynamic of fatherless households. That's probably a recurring theme in this community that they live in, and it's definitely a recurring theme in the Black community in general.
Walterboro, South Carolina, just about an hour's drive west of Charleston, where there was a fight between 10-year-old RaNiya Wright and another fifth grader. That other student has not been identified, but what we know from police is that there was an altercation between these two students, a fight, and this RaNiya Wright was sent to the nurse's station there, where she was described as unconscious. But
Kamal Bashir said, a lot of money to bury a child, $20,000. No, that was an excessive amount of money, but a lot of money is $45,000. People can donate whatever the hell they want to. That's what it currently is. The goal was raised way past $20,000. It's now at $45,000, not $20,000. Let's make sure we get that amount accurate, okay? They're asking for $45,000. They've exceeded that, and I can almost guarantee you, unless they see my video and have a problem, if don't nobody say nothing, I can almost guarantee you they're gonna try to up it again just to see how much money they can get out of this situation. Just throwing it out there, because otherwise you're gonna have to tell me why they're upping the price. Why they keep upping the GoFundMe. There has to be a logical answer. If not, I'm going to just think you're just trying to get over on people.
breathing. Then she was sent to a local hospital, then airlifted to the Children's Hospital in Charleston, where this photograph was taken and posted by her mother. We know that just yesterday, 10-year-old RaNiya died. Now, we don't know why. That has not been released by the family. There is an autopsy scheduled for tomorrow, and those answers are expected. Now,
and I want you guys to think about this. Somebody said that the goal is going to keep going up, and they might end up getting it to $100,000. Darcy Ann, that's exactly what I was getting ready to talk about, but I'm going to give it a moment. I'm going to bring that up here in a minute. And I want to say thank you to Miss June Bennett. If you guys want to support the show, then feel free. The links are in the description box. I don't want to pressure anybody, okay? But let's keep going.
When it comes to the school, there is an executive meeting that's been going on for most of this hour where they have to answer the questions. Were these students unsupervised? How soon after the fight was she sent to the nurse's station? Lots of questions here. We know that other student has been suspended. No criminal charges filed.
As of yet, they haven't filed any criminal charges yet. Because that has to be determined by family court.
When a Colleton County fifth grader died this morning after being injured in a fight at school. Fifth grader RaNiya Wright was a Forest Hills Elementary School student and was involved in some sort of fight on Monday. 2 days later, she died from her injuries, and her death is now being investigated by the school and local law enforcement.
This has caught a lot of people's attention all across the state. Our Jacob Reynolds is in Colleton County tonight. He joins us with an update after talking with the Sheriff's Department today and the school district. Jacob?
Well, J.R. Darcy, it was a fight of some sort on Monday that led to the injuries that killed fifth grader RaNiya Wright. And here at Forest Hills Elementary, the question we and everyone else in this community has for law enforcement and the school is what and why did that fight happen and what caused the little girl's death?
This is by far the most tragic event that we've had in our school system.
Colleton County School Board member William Bowman gave his condolences to the family of fifth grader RaNiya Wright. The superintendent's office said Wright loved to write, play basketball, and be a big sister. Wright died Wednesday morning from injuries suffered in a school fight on Monday at Forest Hills Elementary. So far, neither the district nor investigators have said what led to the fight. Colleton County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Shalane Lowe's said they did not want to taint the investigation.
Our prayers are with the Wright family, the Colleton County School District, the faculty, everyone involved, the community as a whole, and we are actively working this investigation.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What's going on, Alvin, man? Good to see you in the chat, brother. I want you guys to remember this about that GoFundMe. They raised $46,000 in 48 hours. They wanted to support this cause, whatever that cause is. It's not a clear cause as to what it is that they're supporting, but they dumped a ton of money in a very short amount of time. That, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, I get it when people want to rally around something, they want to support something, you put your money where your mouth is. And they definitely put their money into this GoFundMe, a whole lot of it, from $12,000 to $45,000 in 48 hours. That's, I don't know.
The incident report lists another fifth grader as a suspect for simple assault. The report says 911 was called after Wright collapsed and lost consciousness Monday afternoon. She was later airlifted to the Medical University of South Carolina, where she died Wednesday morning. Bowman wanted to assure parents that the county's schools are safe.
Unfortunately, this incident occurred. It was a very, very devastating, unfortunate incident. But I want parents to understand that staff members, administrators, we care about our students and we care about the safety of our entire school district.
And around town, the news was upsetting.
It was tragic. I mean, someone that young shouldn't have to go through whatever caused the fight. You know, if it caused death, then it's just horrible.
Wright's autopsy is scheduled for Friday morning. And J.R. Darcy, you're actually looking at the sign outside Forest Hills Elementary, where you can see this woman here who just put down 3 bouquets of flowers in memory of Wright. And we did talk to that school board member, Mr. Bowman. He told us that they are calling a special meeting tomorrow at 1 p.m. to talk about with investigators what happened at the school in that fight, what's an update to the investigation. But he did warn us that after that meeting, they still might not have a lot of information to hand out to the community here, because as that investigation continues, they don't want to mess with any potential witnesses.
Right, which is why some of the information is not out there. Real quick, let me say thank you to Lauren. And Lauren said, finally caught you live. Great show. Thank you very much. And she hit us up on Venmo. I want to say thank you to Amutala, who hit us up on Cash App. Thank you. And to my guy Last Chance, who hit us up. And also thank you to my brother Big Hop. Big Hop hit us up in the PayPal. Said there's another sad story and shows how the black community has failed to protect their kids. I bet this wasn't the first time a fight has happened at the school. No, it is not. Matter of fact, they said there were, how many incidents? There were, let me see if I can find how many incidents. Let me see, control. 4. There were 4 incidents of threat and physical attack without weapon recorded at the school last year. So there you go. There's your answer. Thank you very much, Dakara. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Or evidence that law enforcement is still collecting here. And so we're going to send it back to you, reporting live in Colleton County. Jacob Reynolds, News 19 WLTX.
All right, Jacob, thank you.
Meanwhile, the Colleton County School District has shut down their Facebook page following the little girl's death. In their last post this morning, the district posted, "We will temporarily suspend our Facebook page so we can better focus on providing the care that our stakeholders need at this time." The page has since been taken down and the message no longer shows up on a Facebook search. The district is using their website to post updates on the case. And Colleton County School District is home to 11 facilities, including 5 elementary schools. According to the district's website, they serve nearly 6,000 students. Like many others across the state,
I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. That school sucks, and it sounds like most of the surrounding schools around there are just terrible schools. They're not conducive to them kids learning anything. Do me a favor while you guys are watching. Hit that thumbs up. We're almost done, okay? Please hit the thumbs up. Smash that like button. All right? Thank you.
And tonight with continuing.
Can the school be charged with anything? Well, I will tell you this. I like the questions. You guys are actually asking great questions. Before we wrap up and before I show this last video, Crystal asked, can the school be charged with anything? Yes, they can. If they are proven to have failed to do something, either to properly supervise the kids or to properly make phone calls to 911, or even the fact that maybe they didn't do something right in the nurse's office. Yes, the school can actually be sued. The school can be charged and the school can be sued.
And tonight with continuing coverage of the death of a 5th grade student in Colleton County.
10-year-old RaNiya Wright died after a fight in class so severe she was medevaced to the hospital. Here's what we know happened. Monday, 2 students got into that fight. The 10-year-old was flown to the Medical University of South Carolina. On Wednesday morning, just after 9:30, she passed away.
The school district tells us the other student involved in the fight is suspended pending the investigation. The school district met today to discuss the incident, and people will gather to remember the life of RaNiya Wright.
That vigil is happening in less than an hour. Our Deanne Roberts is live in Colleton County. Deanne, tell us about this tense and heartbreaking day and the vigil still ahead.
Well, Sophia and Octavia, things have calmed down here at the Colleton County School District headquarters. This after a 2.5-hour-long meeting. No cameras, no public was allowed inside of that meeting. And even after that excruciating long meeting, still questions remain as to what happened to 5th grader RaNiya Wright. In a confined yet filled space, somber and concerned looks filling the faces of Colleton County School District officials.
On the solemn occasion, just to give you thanks, praise, and honor.
Opening with a prayer.
I'd like for us to have just a moment of silence for Ms. Wright.
And having a moment of silence as school board members hold a special meeting to discuss what happened at Forest Hills Elementary and what led to RaNiya Wright's death. Board members quickly went into executive session where cameras or the public wasn't allowed. After 3 hours of discussion behind closed doors, this is what the superintendent had to say.
Providing a safe learning environment is top priority for our district. After the investigation is concluded, we will thoroughly review the findings and address any areas of concerns throughout the investigation. Right now, we will remain focused on supporting our students, our employees, our parents, and the community through this.
I chased down school board member Harry Jenkins after the meeting, and this is all he had to say.
Board chair.
So can you confirm whether or not there was a substitute in the classroom? What do you have to say to all these parents who are out here?
Just a comment that was made by the...
So there is nothing that the district can say to help these parents try and figure out what actually happened to RaNiya Wright.
It's an open investigation. That's why we can't comment on it.
Several college...
I don't know why they talk so soft. Why you gotta talk so soft and I don't really want to say anything. I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to get onto that brother just for a moment. I think that also is a misrepresentation of the real men in the black community. Brother, speak up and be heard. It matters. Like, why they so timid to speak up and say something? Didn't you guys think that was a little bit odd? Well, it's a pending investigation. Speak up and say something. Open your mouth. There's a kid that's dead. These children matter. Why can't you speak up? Just a little bit. That bothers me. I'm sorry, but it bothers me.
County parents attending the meeting as well, telling me they still have more questions about what happened Monday.
And you notice there was a lot of women and no fathers at all.
At Forest Hills Elementary.
I came out here for answers. I came out here like everyone else out here wanting answers.
A community activist. Wonderful. Wonderful. We have a community. Elvin Spate, thank you very much. We have a community activist on the scene, but no fathers. Isn't that awesome? You know how people have talked about that we need mentors for these kids instead of fathers? Community activists instead of fathers? CPS needs to do their job instead of the fathers? Black Lives Matter is looking out for the kids?
This is on how this happened, what's going to be done to prevent it from happening again.
Damn.
So after that meeting, there were definitely some very tense moments out here at the Colleton County School District headquarters. I did ask some questions to the school district chairman. However, he didn't say anything as I was asking those questions to him. Now, however, the Colleton County Sheriff's Office, says that they will release that incident report once the autopsy has been released, and that autopsy is scheduled to be completed tomorrow. We will bring you some more coverage as to what happens and what we find in that incident report and that autopsy right here on News 2. And Sophia and Octavia, you all did mention there is a vigil happening tonight in honor of RaNiya Wright that will take place at 6 o'clock tonight at Pinckney Park right here in Walterboro. Reporting live in Colleton County tonight, Deanne Roberts, Count on 2.
I will tell you guys this. I actually do have the vigil. I'm not going to show the vigil because the vigil is actually an entire hour. If you guys want me to show that, then maybe I can upload it and just send you the link or something. It's way too long. It's a whole hour. And just know that the vigil took place. This is what I want to say to conclude to this story. Again, I mean, no disrespect to the mother, to Ashley Wright. Look, my daughter is almost about the same age. My daughter is in the same grade as yours. So I feel you on losing your daughter. It's got to be a tough thing to go through. But we have to call out certain things. Number one, at this school, why are we sending our children in a day and age where we can literally enroll our kids in online schooling, at homeschool our children? You don't have to send your children to dangerous schools that are not conducive to learning. Everybody catch that? You do not have to. You have a choice. You are not forced to send your kids to shitty schools. You don't have to send your kids to the city's shitty schools. Everybody catch that? The city's shitty school. You don't have to do it. Number 2, the violence rate in single-parent households. One thing that you noticed was there was no mention of any fathers in this story. I am assuming that there probably are not any active fathers that are biologically the fathers of these kids in these households because they generally produce violent households. Hashtag not all for the people that aren't that bright. But for everybody else that understands exactly what I'm saying, the statistics actually prove that most of the violence in the black community comes from single-parent households. Point number 3, there was no mention of a father. We've already mentioned that. Point number 4, the fact that I saw pictures of this mom with no man, no father for this kid, and her priority seemed to be that she's a club goer based on her photos. She wears a ton of weave, which is another thing that I'm talking about. And the reason I bring that up is because of the fact that, number 1, we're asking for a GoFundMe page that has quadrupled in the amount that it was originally asking for. So one logical mind like mine would have to ask, well, where's the rest of this money going to? Especially if this person wears a ton of weave, always is looking slayed from head to toe, based on the photos that I saw. but we don't have money for insurance. Uh-oh, that might get me flagged. We don't have money for life insurance, which is very important for our children. But we have money for stupid things like colored weaves. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 or 3. You go look it up for yourself. Not 3 or 4 or 5 photos, a ton of photos. And this is where we're spending our money. It's a $50 billion a year industry, and it seems that the most impoverished communities are the ones spending the most money on shit that doesn't matter. Did everybody catch what I just said? We are spending a ton of money on Jordans, on bags, on hair, on nails, on toes, on rims, on flat screen TVs, when our kids' education sucks. We are spending a ton of money on things that don't matter, but our children's future matters. And when you look at the things that we have provided for our children in order to create themselves into being successful adult human beings in the society and be productive citizens of the United States of America, they don't have the tools. They don't have the education. They don't have the life insurance. They don't have the college funds. They don't have the basic things that they need in order to be successful in life. They don't have a business plan. They have no goals and no real things that are going to be tangible to get them through in life. And then we turn around and we continue to keep reproducing. Before we start getting pregnant and having these children, we should have a stable household first. And we should also have some form of a guarantee that the father of that kid is going to be there. How do we accomplish this? I say get married. If the man ain't going to make a commitment to you and make a commitment to that household, then you probably shouldn't have a baby by him, because he hasn't even made an inkling of a commitment to be there for that kid. Holy crap. Did we just provide some solutions too? Woo! How about that? Last but not least, this GoFundMe account was raised by thousands and thousands of dollars from the original benefit. And I think this goes back to the theory that I have, that it seems that the only reason that we're producing children in the Black community, people that share my skin hue, is because we want to collect the benefits from those children. Otherwise, people need to give me some answers as to why that this story dictates exactly what I just said. Everybody catch that? I'm signing out. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. R.I.P. to this baby. That is a baby. RaNiya Wright, 5th grader. Same age as my daughter. This bothers me a lot, and I hope you guys understand. And I want you guys to listen with logic and don't speak from your heart. Listen with your logical ears and your mind, and understand and process what I just said, because the children are the ones that are losing. We need to speak for children and advocate for children first. They need to be our priority, okay? This is your boy DJ Just Jay signing out. Thank you guys very much. Prayer hands up. Thank you guys so much. We're going to end the show right there.